Has someone ever hurt you deeply and you feel justified in holding an angry grudge or a hard feeling against them? Perhaps you've been holding on to that offense for a long time. If so, there's something I want you to remember today. The main person that's hurt by your offense is not the other person, it's you. In Genesis chapter 50 is the story of Joseph. Because of the jealousy of his brothers, Joseph was thrown to the bottom of a well. He became a slave in Egypt. He spent 13 years in a prison dungeon. Yet he chose to forgive his brothers and welcome them into the prosperity God had given him. Instead of taking revenge against his brothers, Joseph told them, "You meant it for evil, but God meant it for good." That's amazing. I'm not sure I could have done that. Job found a wonderful reversal of his fortunes when he prayed for his friends. Even though they had spent many days badgering him and criticizing him and accusing him. And in the book of Ruth, chapter 1, is the story of grief, a story of uncertainty. Naomi and Ruth had a terrible time after their husbands died, yet God gave them a wonderful new beginning when they moved back to Judea. And in John chapter 4 and chapter 8, you'll read the stories of the Samaritan woman at the well and the woman caught in adultery. Both of them endured trauma at the hands of men and because of their own foolish choices. But they each received a new beginning when Jesus forgave and restored them. In 1 Kings chapter 17, the widow at Zarephath faced severe financial lack. She faced severe and certain starvation, not only for her but for her son. But she found God's supernatural provision, a huge new beginning, when she sacrificially obeyed the words of the prophet Elijah. When she met his need by faith, her barrel of meal, her jar of oil, it never ran dry throughout the famine. And supernaturally, it sustained her. Not only sustained her, but it sustained her entire household and Elijah for 3 years. Read it. In Acts chapter 7, Stephen, one of the disciples, forgave those who were stoning him to death. He said, "Lord, don't hold this sin against them." You know, this act of forgiveness was one of the primary reasons that led to the conversion of the Apostle Paul. Paul went on to conduct mission trips around the world. He eventually wrote 2/3 of the entire New Testament. And the greatest act of forgiveness was Jesus. While he was carrying the sins of the world on his back on the cross, he issued a powerful word of forgiveness. It's echoed down through the centuries. He said, "Father, forgive them, for they know not what they're doing." So remember this when you're tempted. When you're tempted to feel offended, when you're tempted to hold on to offenses that others have caused you, follow the example of Jesus and the other biblical heroes and forgive those who have treated you unjustly. I'm not saying forgiveness is easy. Let's be honest with each other. It isn't. But your ability to forgive those who have offended you, who have done you wrong, it's an essential key to your own new beginning. Your winter season is going to go on forever unless you make a decision to forgive everyone who's hurt you. So go ahead, make that decision. Release those offenses. Release the hard feelings that you've harbored against those other people who have hurt you. Your new beginning is going to start the moment you do. God bless you today. Thanks for being with me. I'm going to look forward to you tuning in again tomorrow. We're going to continue to explore how to experience a new beginning in your life. See you then.